Ahoy sailors! Well, once again it is the weekend and we plan to leave the slip. This weekend we're heading over to Cambridge, Maryland, which is on the Choptank River, eastern shore of Maryland. Okay, as I said, we're headed over to Cambridge, which is on the Choptank River on the eastern shore of Maryland. So currently Quetzal is located at Harrington Harbor South here on Herring Bay. This is Herring Bay here. And we'll drop the lines, we'll head out the channel, go around these shoals, and we're going to head across. We're going to head across the Chesapeake Bay, down through this channel here, up into the Choptank, and ultimately all the way down to Cambridge. She's right there. Unfortunately, there really isn't a good anchorage, at least an anchorage that is sufficiently large enough for a Quetzal. There is a little town harbor, and there's probably room for 2 or 3 smaller boats in there, but no point in us going in there and chancing that. So we will be taking a slip at the Cambridge Yacht Basin right there. So that's the plan. Not much wind it would appear today. We'll keep our fingers crossed and hope that Neptune sneezes in our direction. Okay, here we are flying full canvas in about 8 knots of wind. I think we're making 3.5, but we're picking up speed. And we're pretty much close hauled, which is probably good given the amount of wind we have. We're really creating the wind. We are gonna have to fall off in a little bit. Probably be on a beam reach. It'll be interesting to see how we do. I mean, normally beam reaches, close reach, beam reach are the preferred points of sail for this boat. Well, it seems like we lucked out. We got some champagne sailing here on the Chesapeake Bay, doing about 6 knots, and it's flat water. If we can keep this up, won't have to kill any dinosaurs, or not too many anyway, to get to Cambridge. There we go. So yeah. Really died off. I'm hoping it'll pick back up here. We're almost to the mouth of the Choptank River. And sometimes when you get into the various estuaries of the bay, you get a different sort of wind phenomenon. Could go really light and be dead in there, or you could get a good boost of breeze just due to whatever meteorological effect is created by the more narrow stretch of water surrounded by land. We'll see. Sails are still, well, I was about to say full, but staysail's a little limp. Sailing again. We're gonna pull the Genoa out because it's gonna like jinx us. Every time we pull the Genoa out, the wind dies.
It had been quite some time since we sailed into Cambridge, and what we found was very surprising. The town was quite revitalized. The downtown was very interesting, kind of a Mayberry RFD, the old train station, beautiful murals. We really appreciated the street art. It was fun to walk around town and find a mural and take a photo of it. And of course, Cambridge was the home of Harriett Tubman, the famed conductor of the Underground Railway. There is, in fact, a museum in her honor on the main street. We also had a good time walking around the yacht maintenance boatyard, where the recently launched skipjack Martha Lewis was swelling up in the slings, and they were placing the final coats of varnish on her spars. In the land storage lot, we were confronted with the contrast between this beautiful little harbor and some of the other boats that had, let's say, had been less well maintained. We also walked along the working waterfront, inspecting the various clam and crab boats, some of them with interesting names. We walked over to J.M. Clayton's, where they still pick and pack crabs by hand. We really enjoyed the restaurants in town, especially the Blue Ruin with its amazing selection of mixed drinks and its fantastic menu. We went back twice and enjoyed a number of concoctions and delicious food, as well as some entertainment.
Would you just look at that girl with the light coming up in her eye?
Good morning, sailors. It's Monday, the 29th of May, and we had a fantastic visit to Cambridge, but as with all good things, there comes an end. It's going to be time to cast off the lines and head back across the bay to Harrington Harbor South in just about an hour. This is Cambridge Yacht Basin, nice marina. I think it's city-owned, but managed by Oasis Marinas. The main fairway is a little bit narrow, and it's been haunting me since we arrived, since we docked bow in, and what's been haunting me is how I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to turn this big boat around in a relatively narrow fairway. Got a couple of options. We have the slipways off to starboard. I really can't pull forward because the Sea Wolf is there. So I think what we're going to do, got some friends coming by, I think we're going to walk the boat back here to the end of the dock. Luckily we don't have anybody behind us here. We'll walk back here to the end of the dock, and then we'll leave the dock and go ahead and execute our turn, but if we need to, we can go into that fairway there, right, and then back out. Complicating matters a little bit is that there is a breeze entering the marina. It's not much, 7-8 knots, but anything on the beam, the big old full keel boat, can create a challenge. This has been haunting me a bit. Been thinking about it. The other option would be walk the boat all the way back here, maybe back up and see if we couldn't turn into this slipway here, and then shoot out that way. But I think that's fraught with peril. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so we're just about ready to leave. Got a couple of buddies coming by in a minute or two to help us walk the boat back down the dock. Not quite sure how it's going to go today. It's kind of misty, hazy, rained a lot last night. Looks like there's a sailing wind. I don't know how strong, but it looks like there's enough wind to sail out on the river. So we'll see how it goes. Here come the heroes.
You need a good push for the pushers.
I think you might have to pull.
I know, I saw that.
long motor sailing out the Choptank River. We have our fingers crossed. There will be some wind on the Chesapeake Bay, and we'll at least get to sail 8 or 9, 10 miles back to Homeport. Now out in the bay, we've got about, I don't know, 10 knots of true wind. We've got about 14 knots apparent, close reach, and we're making 6 knots, so that's nice. Broke the door. No, it's okay. Here she comes. Sailing, sailing, right? It's good. Aren't you happy? Yeah. Yeah.